Imagine this: the very software meant to protect companies, from banks to hospitals to airlines, turned into a weapon of mass disruption. On July 19, 2024, a routine update from cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike foolishly triggered the most massive IT outage in modern history. Millions of Windows PCs and servers across the globe crashed into the dreaded blue screen of death. Overnight, airports halted, hospitals went silent, emergency calls froze, banks stopped. All because their automated update had a small bug with catastrophic consequences. Today, we're unwrapping the disaster, the chaos, and the aftermath of the biggest outage in the modern history. In the morning at 6:09 UTC, CrowdStrike pushed a routine update to its Falcon sensor on Windows devices. Someone on the team made a grave error in what's called Channel File 291, a small but critical configuration that tells the system's security software how to behave. But here's the scary part: this file operated at the kernel level. That means it didn't just sit on the surface, it had deep access to the heart of the Windows operating system. Think of the kernel like a brainstem. It's the layer of software that controls how your device talks to its hardware, memory, CPU, files, everything. So when the logic in this file was wrong, it didn't just make the security program crash, it shut down the entire system from the inside out. The result? Instant blue screen of death on millions of devices, hospitals, airports, banks. All stopped. Within minutes, 8.5 million Windows devices, everything from laptop to server, entered an unstoppable reboot loop and ended in the infamous blue screen of death. The scale? Unprecedented. It affected baggage systems at LaGuardia Airport, airlines like Delta, United, and American, resulting in approximately 10,000 plus flight cancellations and 1.3 million stranded passengers, hospitals missing records, banks dropping transactions, TV networks, Sky News going dark during the morning brief, emergency call centers freezing cold. Those are just to name a few. For hours, the world literally stopped. Among the hardest hit was Delta Airlines. American had flights back up by evening. United recovered within 3 days. But Delta, their systems were crippled for 5 straight days. The fallout for Delta alone: 7,000 flights canceled, 1.1 million passengers stranded, estimated losses of $500 to $550 million from refunds, hotel costs, and operational chaos. Delta's CEO called it a global catastrophe and filed a lawsuit accusing CrowdStrike of gross negligence and fraud. This wasn't a random bug. It was a kernel-level bug, the most dangerous kind. CrowdStrike's Falcon software operates deep in Windows core, designed to watch for malicious behavior. When the faulty channel file 291 pushed flawed logic, Windows systems crashed instantly before any patch could install. In plain words, the cure killed the patient. Quick break to thank our sponsor before we dig into the recovery. If you want investments that don't fail catastrophically, meet The Alchemist. It's a plug-and-play trading robot for MetaTrader 4, scanning currency pairs for high-probability setups and executing trades 100% on autopilot. No tokens, no guesswork, just smart, algorithmic trading with 24/7 support. Click the link in the description and use code CROWD at checkout for 10% off. Now, let's get back to the outage that shook the tech world and beyond. CrowdStrike quickly pulled the faulty file and pushed out a patched update within the hour. But for millions of affected systems, it was already too late. The crash happened so deep in the system that Windows couldn't even boot properly, meaning the devices couldn't receive the fix. They were stuck in endless reboot loops, crashing before the operating system could load. That's why IT teams around the world had to step in physically. First, boot each machine into safe mode, or use a USB stick with Windows recovery tools. Second, manually locate and delete the corrupted CrowdStrike driver file. And third, reboot, patch, and hope it worked. Because every system was different. Different hardware, different versions of Windows, different dependencies. Some came back to life, others froze completely. There was no guarantee. This wasn't an automatic fix. It wasn't scalable. The biggest tech outage in years had to be repaired one machine at a time. CrowdStrike's CEO and president had to testify before U.S. lawmakers, apologizing for the unforgivable outage that hit 8.5 million devices. Microsoft immediately launched a Windows resiliency initiative, rewriting how kernel-level software should be tested and deployed. Meanwhile, Delta pursued its case. A Georgia court ruled the airline could sue for gross negligence. $500 million loss caused real strains on the company's financial. Yet, despite the chaos, CrowdStrike's reputation barely cracked. Customers stuck with them. Retention stayed at 97%. The third quarter revenue of 2024 surged by 29% to $1 billion. Shares dipped briefly, then rocketed back above pre-crisis levels. The crisis became their PR rebound story. Broken bones heal stronger, said the CEO. This wasn't just a tech glitch. It was a wake-up call about our digital weak points. Kernel-level software isn't fallible. Updates need staged testing, not blanket pushes. Recovery must be automatic, not manual. Trust is fragile, especially in software we depend on daily basis. CrowdStrike Now itself has hired a chief resilience officer, doubling down on internal tests and platform robustness to prevent similar events in the future. CrowdStrike built its reputation by protecting against hackers, but a single defective update, pushed at scale, turned that defense into a weapon of mass disruption. It's the ultimate tech irony. The shield became the sword. We rely on software to protect us, but when that software breaks, the impact is global and brutal. So next time you update your security tools, remember, if the protector fails, everything it protects fails too. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay safe, and until then, I will see you in the next one.